week with them. Every single day, he's improved. He's learnt from the master. I mean, he is not. He's the Premier League trophy. What they're going to lift, he ain't going to be able to pick it up. I mean, he's at the Premier League trophy is bigger than Phil Foden, but he's a giant of a footballer. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Like Macca said, checking his shoulders, wing mirrors all the time. Knows what's around him. He would never. I mean, he's just an amazing footballer, and we're pleased to have him as an Englishman in the Premier League. A lot of finances. We talked about that before. Greed. About we need the money to bring in the best. That boy costs nothing. He's from the academy system. But he's improved because they have world-class players around him, likes of David Silvas, the Kevin De Bruyne's, your Gundogans. Brilliant, outstanding. Yeah. Credit to the football club, that kid.
Yeah, and he already has 5 Manchester City medals, and on Sunday he'll have another chance to add one to the collection. And with that win tonight, they have edged closer to another one with the Premier League title. So, of course, Chelsea got a point at home to Brighton last night earlier on, and we'll show you that later in the show again. Ryan Mason became the youngest ever Premier League manager, and he marked the occasion with Spurs with a win. 1 down to beat Southampton by 2-1. City have beaten Villa by the same scoreline, and don't forget, of course, Leicester will be looking over their shoulders in terms of the teams chasing them. They're currently third. Big game for them on Thursday at home to second from bottom West Bromwich Albion. So, as we say, 8 more points required. That's a maximum of for Manchester City. That's if Manchester United win every single game. They're up to 77 points with 15 more to play for, 11 clear of United. And Chelsea, as I say, currently in that 4th spot. But Spurs have gone within 2 points of the top 4 tonight. Aston Villa remain 11th, Southampton 14th after their defeat earlier on. And that point from Brighton last night edged them up to 34. Then Burnley with 33, and they both have a game in hand on Fulham, who are on 27 points.
After the worst possible start, did it turn out all right in the end?
Well, of course, for someone which wants to be champs, should be that way, So they started really well, Before the first minute, they scored a goal. But I think after that, we recovered the possession of the ball, we controlled the game, and we turned around even first half. And of course, second half was a little bit tough because we were, one man down. But at the end, was a good game, and we are so happy for another victory.
Phil Foden got one of the goals. As a senior player yourself, how impressed are you with the way he is maturing and the way he's playing?
Well, I know him about 5 years now, so since he was a little boy, he comes to training with us now, showed his quality, and was no doubt about that. And of course, he's really mature now. He's taking the action a little bit better, he chose better his actions, and of course, today he scored, and another game he was awesome as well. And I'm so pleased and so happy for him because he's a nice guy, nice boy, and he deserves all the best in this life.
Obviously a good night for him, but how do you feel for John Stones, who, as a result of that red card, misses the Carabao Cup final?
Well, I feel sorry for him, For me, it's the Carabao Cup final, and when something happened, a red card in the first half, tough game like this, we are fighting for the title. It's not easy for any player. But, we are behind him, supporting him. He showed already his quality, his positive energy always in the training sessions in the game as well. And he helped us in different situations and many situations. He's scoring goals, defending so well, giving pass, keeping the ball possession. So we can name so many reasons here. He helped us this season, and for sure you're gonna miss him. But I am so pleased for him because he was one of the best players in this squad so far this season.
Now tell me as well, as the club captain, what has been like for you and the other players over the last 3 days during the whole Europa Super League situation?
Well, it's been crazy, since Saturday, after the Chelsea defeat in the FA Cup semi-final. So the guys were a little bit down, and then on Monday this Super League comes up and comes out. We were a little bit surprised, we didn't expect that, but at the end, I think the good sense wasn't the right thing to do, I think everyone which loves football didn't support this Super League, include our players and our club. And of course, you are so happy now because everything was turning around, and all the fans, all the people which loves football now is calm. But for sure, it was a good bit surprise for everyone.
Yeah, you can feel the players' relief. We'll come back to the Super League at the end of the show. But how super was that display from City overall for you tonight?
Well, apart from 21 seconds, they just bossed the game completely, didn't they? Yes, they went behind. But even when they went behind, they had so much control of the ball. They were up to 82% possession at one stage. It was just inevitable that they were going to score. And once they did, you knew it was the second was going to come. And once it did, even though they got reduced to 10 men, I never felt at one stage that they were in trouble of drawing the game, let alone losing the game. They were just in complete control, and they had too many good players for Aston Villa.
Yeah, and one of them in particular, Phil Foden, we touched upon before the break. What do you make of the way, not just tonight, but in general this season, he's stepped up after David Silva, not just to playing games, but to play huge parts, pivotal roles in games?
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with the management, how they've dealt with him. As I mentioned before, it's a lot to do with the players he's playing with. And like Macca tell you, you can learn a certain amount of the coaching staff, of the managers, but when you're in and around the players in that dressing room and on the training field, you learn so much of the Kevin De Bruyne, the good types. You can learn bad things or bad types. I'm not sure they've got too many bad types at Man City because the manager won't allow it. The Gundogan's, the Bernardo Silva's, 2 assists there tonight, hardly give the ball away. David Silva, a couple of years ago, he's picked their brains. He's a very, very clever boy, Phil Foden. He's used he's leached onto the good types, and he's picked every little bit of their game. Now, he can only do what he can do. This is where he's at his best, in tight areas. His touch, he can control the ball in the telephone box. No one can get it off him. He just manipulates it. Look, tight areas, checks his shoulder, knows he can turn on his back foot, and then everyone comes alive because they know that he's got the ability to be able to find them. I mean, he's just incredible at finding space. When he finds himself in wide areas here, I mean, he gave Matty Cash an absolute torrid time tonight. But it's going to pace, the turn of pace there. That stays on his feet, could have slowed himself down and gone down. Give Matty Cash an absolute torrid time tonight. But it's going to pace, the turn of pace there. That stays on his feet, could have slowed himself down and gone down. But he's just a wonderful technician, isn't he, Macca?
See there, when he received the ball like that, that's an innocuous piece of action. But only good players can do that. They must be full of confidence to whip the body round, knowing that they might get kicked on the other side. But he's always opens his body up to receive it on the back foot, always to move forward. There's never any negativity. There's never any 2 touches before he's looking and turning. He's always open his body's up. His neck's on the swivel constantly. Here's his goals for the season. That's 7 this season. The Premier League. Before he's looking and turning, he's always open his body's up. His neck's on the swivel constantly. Here's his goals for the season. That's 7 this season in the Premier League. He's got 14 in total, second leading goal scorer for Manchester City. His numbers are phenomenal, and the season has not finished. Yeah. If he stays fit, he'll add another 2 or 3 to that, and he'll be going into, well, we all hope as Englishmen that he goes into the summer tournament in fantastic form, because at this moment in time, he's one of their most dangerous and important players, isn't he, today? De Bruyne is out. Who stood up again today? It was Phil Foden.